This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Hello, I'm Mimi, and in the first half of 2024, I earned on average just over 7,000 Australian dollars per month from my art skills, and so I want to show you how I earn that money because it is my dream job and you might have a similar dream too, so I'd love to share my experiences with you. If you're familiar with my channel and business, you'll know that I also earn money from this YouTube channel and my Skillshare classes, but I want to talk just about art income today to show you how I earn money solely from my art skills. So I don't actually really sell my art directly as products because it's just not my path right now, but there are lots of other ways to make money from your art skills. I have three main income streams that come from my art. The first is illustrating children's picture books, the second is being an art teacher and creator on Patreon, and the third is through selling my art resources like my brush packs on my online store. Between those three income streams, I earned 42,826 Australian dollars in the first 6 months of this year, which averages out to be $7,137 per month. That's before I pay tax and before I pay for business expenses, but honestly my overheads are pretty low. I only work on my art about half of the time, the other half is spent on running this YouTube channel, so I'd say that income is from working about 20 hours a week. It's super important to remember though that I've been growing this business for 4 years now, so spending 20 hours a week on it 2 years ago didn't earn me nearly as much. Let's take a look at where exactly the money comes from. I love illustrating children's picture books and now have 6 published books and am currently illustrating some more. The income is really variable and comes in lump sums. I didn't have many invoices fall in the first half of this year, but did have plenty fall during the second half of last year, so with the amount of books that I illustrate, it isn't the most consistent income. The income from books is mostly in the form of the advance against royalties that I get. So I get royalties, which is a small percentage of book sales, but I get paid a fixed amount of those royalties up front in the form of the advance payment. Then later down the line, once the book is finished and published, if it sells lots of copies and the publisher earns back the advance payment it gave me, then I'll continue earning royalties on new sales. Generally, the advance payment is split into 3 parts. So I get a third of it up front when I sign the contract, a third of it usually when I've finished illustrating the rough sketches, and a third when I've finished colouring the whole book. The advance is great because it guarantees that I get paid a fixed amount regardless of book sales, and I don't have to wait for the book to be published to get paid. Since picture books are individual projects, the amount that I work on them varies a lot, but it takes me around 4 to 5 full-time weeks to sketch and then colour a 24-page book. And this year I'll illustrate 2 books, so averaged out over the full year, I could say that I'm illustrating books for about 3 to 4 days per month on average. The next income stream is a lot more consistent, and that's teaching and sharing art on my Patreon. I love my Patreon community so much and now have been publishing there for 3 whole years, so there's a lot of value that's been slowly building up there. It's my most stable and consistent income stream. It does vary from month to month and has ups and downs, but generally when you look at the income since I started, there's a really solid upward trend. It's a membership subscription platform where people can pay to access the content that I create, and they can join just for 1 month, but a lot of people stay for a few months or for a long time, which is why it's a more consistent income stream. So my income varies depending on how many active patrons I have in my community at the time. It always peaks around December when I host my Arty Advent calendar, and that carries through to January when people are learning new skills at the start of the year. I post quite a few things there every month, so it takes me 5 to 7 days to create everything for Patreon, and that workload has been similar since I started. So in the beginning, I was working a week every month for not very much money, and now I work a similar amount of time for a lot more money. That's because my community has grown and the value of what's available on my Patreon has grown too, which makes it more valuable for customers to join and to stay for a bit longer to look through everything. To show people what's available on my Patreon before they join, I have a page on my website where I can show thumbnails of all the benefits that they'll get access to, which really helps convert people who are unsure and to give them some confidence. I've been using Squarespace to build my website since the very beginning of this art business, and they are the sponsor of today's video, so let me show you how I use Squarespace to help my business. I use my website as a hub to introduce myself and showcase all the different things that I do to help people find more from me. But I also have a small blog there to offer some value and help drive traffic. It's such an important part of my business, and on Squarespace it's so easy to build a beautiful website with their really intuitive drag and drop website builder, or you can choose one of their nice templates and just update it with your own style. You can host a blog directly on Squarespace. You can also have an online store to sell physical products, digital content, or your services as an artist, and you can even host an online course if you decide to take your creative business in that direction. They also have built-in SEO tools to help you show up more often and to more people, which is important because we all know how difficult it is to be seen online. Check out squarespace.com for a free trial to see what your business or portfolio website could look like, and when you're ready to launch, go to www.squarespace.com/mimimoo illustration to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. So then the third income stream that I have with my art skills is selling art resources and tools like my digital brush packs. I've been selling my brushes on Etsy just because it's easy, and my income there varies every month but is consistent enough. This is my revenue for the first half of this year. Keep in mind I pay fees on this, so it's not the actual take-home amount. It's normal to have fluctuation in your sales every month because customers spend more at certain times of the year and less at others. But also about half of my traffic comes from my content. So if my Instagram and YouTube are performing better, then generally that also means more sales. In general, your online income is based on traffic and how much traffic you can generate to what you're selling. So building an audience is really, really powerful. I was posting less on Instagram at the start of the year, so that traffic is down. But I've been posting more on Pinterest, so that traffic has increased. So it all comes and goes depending on where I'm posting and how much traffic I'm driving. Because I make my own brushes and they're the only brushes that I use in my digital art, I can sell them to other artists quite organically who want to achieve a similar effect. So I generate traffic by sharing my art on Instagram or sometimes here on YouTube and telling people where they can find the brushes that I used. The great thing about digital products like brushes is that once they're created, they're a passive income stream that I do have to market and keep generating traffic for. But when someone buys the product, I don't need to do anything. So it doesn't take any more of my time if I sell 5 in a month versus 50 in a month. So how long did it take for me to grow these income streams? Well, I've been working on my business since May of 2020, so that was 4 years ago now. But most of that first year, I was just developing my art skills every day, and I was really focused on growing an audience because I knew that having an audience would bring me a lot of opportunities. These 3 income streams all started in 2021, and if we look at their growth, you can see that in the beginning I wasn't earning a lot. It takes time to grow and build one thing at a time, and slowly over the next 3 years I grew my art income to where it is now, and hopefully it'll keep growing. I have been making Patreon content every single month in that time. I've been developing and refining my brush packs, and I've been marketing on social media to tell potential customers about the lovely things I can offer them, and all of those things just take time and energy. I was also only working part-time on the art side of my business. About half of my time has gone into making content for this YouTube channel, which definitely helps drive traffic to some of my art income. But I wonder if I had committed full-time to just the art income streams, where I would be now and whether they'd have grown a lot faster. If you want to earn a living from your art skills, there are lots of ways you can do that, and you don't even need to sell your art directly on products, although obviously you can also do that if you want to. I spend a lot of my time making art and sharing art content, but I don't really sell it in the traditional way. I sell my art skills as a teacher, mentor, and all-round internet art friend to my community. So let's take a look at some art income ideas, and not only in a really broad sense, but with some more specific niches that you might want to specialize in. If any of these sound like something that would be a good fit for you, then go and research the heck out of them and make a real plan for how you can make it happen. So, art income ideas. First, you could sell your services directly as an illustrator, so making art for people. This is where you can really specialize in a certain style or niche demographic, so you could illustrate for children's picture books, but think about what kind of books so that you can practice an appropriate style and build a portfolio. It could be board books, which are usually more simple and bold in design, or picture books for young children, which could come in all sorts of styles, or illustrations for chapter books. You could illustrate custom commissions in a specific niche, so think about what people really love in their lives that they would want to have represented in a custom artwork, either for them or as a gift for somebody else. They love their pets, so pet commissions are always a good option, but they also love their homes, so you could specialize in drawing those. They love their families, the places they live or grew up, or the stories of how they met their loved ones. Find something to specialize in and really focus on that. You could illustrate for professional clients, and again, you want to know exactly what kind of client you're focusing on so that you can really develop your skills and customize your portfolio. It could be realistic food drawings for recipe magazines and blogs, cartoons for kids magazines, or something cool and modern for food packaging. If you know who your target or dream client is, then you can start illustrating things with them in mind. You could also license your art to companies who need art to put on their products. So again, you can find a style to specialize in and maybe even a type of product to specialize in and build a portfolio around that. It could be greeting cards, gift bags, or surface pattern design in general. And maybe your art has a really kid-friendly appeal, maybe it's got a retro style, or maybe it's perfect for the fantasy market. It's totally up to you. Or you could sell your art on products. This could be physical products that you sell yourself, either made by you or ordered from a manufacturer. This can be anything you can think of to put your art on that there's a market for. Stationery, prints, clothes, accessories, office decor. Try and think outside the box to find something really unique to you. Or it could be print on demand, so you don't make the product or hold the stock. You use a website that prints the order for you each time someone purchases. There are some great sites that offer print-on-demand services for clothes. I personally really like Tmall. Or for fabric like Spoonflower. Or accessories and a bit of everything like Printful and Gelato. Or you could go fully digital and sell digital art products, which could just be digital prints of your art, but could also be things like printable paint by numbers, printable advent calendars, or patterns for crafts like embroidery or engraving. Think about what digital products there is a strong audience for and how you can create art to fit that. And then there's content-related income streams. So this could be building a paid membership community on a site like Patreon. You just need to make sure that you're providing lots of value to your community and being consistent. Think about what kinds of things people are willing to pay to have access to. So it could be a daily art community with lots of encouragement and support. It could be art tutorials, or it could be live streams of your creative process. Or you could create a social media account with free content and work towards getting paid sponsorships. YouTube is great for that, but you can also get sponsored for content on other social media sites. It takes a long time to build, but once it's established, you could be creating content about making art or anything art related that you love and get paid for it without necessarily charging your viewers for anything. So those are some ideas to get you started. I'm sure I've missed something obvious, so let us know in the comments if you have some other income stream ideas. And I'm going to be making lots more art business videos about building an audience and earning an income, so be sure to subscribe if you haven't already so that you don't miss them. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!